Please help to support our petitions at change.org. As of today, we have over 49,000 signatures collected. Thank you so much. But we do need more. We need 500,000 signatures. So we are not even close to that number. Please help our petitions. Also, I would like to show you regarding ending impunity. Recently, and it's been happening very often lately, an activist or the son of an activist have been beaten, and as always, none of the perpetrators have ever been arrested or known. Let me bring in an article up. I'm not sure you can see of Phnom Penh. One motorbike pulled over to his right side in traffic, and a passenger on the bike picked up a rock and throw it at him. That's what he said, and that's the injury that he received from the attacker. Okay, the attacker then fled without robbing him of his money or his phone. In a separate incident, Keo Sok Serai, the 16-year-old son of jail cnrp party leader for Kampong Cham province, Keo Thai, was attacked late on December 12 while bicycling on the road, the young man's mother said. Keo Sok Serai was also struck with a stick and pursued, but managed to escape when he called out to local villagers for help, and his attacker fled the scene. As you can see, around 20 CNRP activists and officials have been physically assaulted since early 2020. Mostly bicycle riding attackers targeting their head. Assailants have used baton and brick and also their own vehicle against victims. As of now, none of the perpetrators have been arrested. So I'm showing you this article. This has happened last week. The reason I brought it up, this is the reason why we want to end impunity for justice in Cambodia. We need to stop the systematic of the government never find anyone to responsible for this. So please help our petition ending impunity for justice in Cambodia at change.org. Thank you. Okay, let's start on our show tonight. Let me welcome our two guests today. I have Mr. Ricky. He is General Secretary of CNRP. Mr. Ricky, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Linda?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Let me add somebody to our show. Somebody, somebody, how are you, Paul?
Somebody.
Thank you for coming in the last minute, somebody, and thank you, Mr. Ricky, for always have time for our show. I appreciate it.
Try to. I'm the backup. I'm like a reserve.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Our topic today is political patronage system and nepotism to promote family member among high-ranking officers are not democratic and create social injustice. So we are talking about promoting family member within the CCP ranking, basically promoting family member that related to the ruling party, related to Hun Sen regime for top position in the government. Let me read what happened. This is last week. Last week, King Norodom Sihamani has issued a royal decree to appoint 3 sons of the late Deputy Prime Minister Sok An to high-ranking senior positions in the government within 1 week. On December 15, the son named Sok Sangwa has been appointed as the Under-Secretary of State at the Ministry of Tourism. The next day, December 16, Sok Sukan has been appointed as the Secretary of State in the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning, and Constructions. 2 days later, December 18, Sok Sokin has been appointed as the Secretary of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Corporations. That was last week. Let me see. In fact, Hun Sen's 3 sons and son-in-law are also holding key positions within the government. Hun Mani, he is a member of the parliament. Hun Manait and Hun Manit are senior army officers, while his son, Hun Sen's son-in-law, Di Vichir, is a General Deputy Commissioner of National Police and Director of Central Security Department. The list go on and on regarding the CPP senior officer, son, wife, basically blood related that, you know, get promoted, also get this top position. Now my question would be, we always tell people that education is the key out of poverty. Education, make sure you go to school. Education, of course, is also in order for, education is knowledge. So what happened, the senior official, they send their kid to outside the country to study. America, UK, Australia. So of course they get the best education the best education that's outside of Cambodia. Because of their educations, my question to Mr. Ricky, you can start first, and then somebody can follow. Are those kids more qualified than the rest of the million Cambodian kids that study in Cambodia, that inside the country?
I think the answer is, the question is, you know, everyone has the answer to this easy question. Of course, we have so many Cambodians that are qualified for the job, especially when you talk about the Ministry of Tourism. There's so many people in the country that are even overqualified for the job, not overqualified, but qualified for the position, but because they do not know anyone who works in the industry or in the government, or they do not have enough money to bribe, to pay, because this is a corrupted government. This is nepotism government, ruled by the family, ruled by the few, ruled by the, we call it aristocracy, ruled by the elite group. So they just select whoever they favor that will strengthen their power. And you know, the idea is to choose someone that they know, who they trust, will not oppose the idea later on in the future after they got accepted to the position. And that is the main reason that they select those people. It's not that there are no people in a country that are qualified, but because they know that these people will later on will support them, will do whatever they say. And plus, it could be that because Sok An and Hun Sen are related like in-laws, and one of his children. So even Hun Sen himself too. See, look at the kid, the 3 children, and that you just mentioned, Hun Mani, Hun Manat, Hun Manit, and also Di Vichi, the son-in-law. See,
yes,
he wanted all of those children to hold, to take over, to oversee the military, the police, the police, actually the one that controlled the city. Why? Because he just want to secure that his power is not going to be given to somebody else, but to his son, so that his son, of course, the son loved the father, and do what the father said, and later on will strengthen him, will try to keep him in power and try to kill or arrest it or put those people against him in jail, to make it short.
Somebody, do you have any input regarding their education background?
I would like to congratulate Hun Sen. He is really smart because he know that his time of killing people in the broad daylight is over. So he know that the Cambodian futures, in order to be having the culture of impunity and corruptions, he must educate his children. That's why he sent them to UK, United States, Australia to receive those educations, so they can be corrupt legally, if that makes sense. They can cheat legally, learn how to cheat without receiving international pressures from the Human Rights Watch. And I believe there's a lot of qualified talented Cambodian student that is very smart, but they do not have the opportunity to get a job at the workplace or at the government position that is open, just because they were from a poor family. From my firsthand experience, I have family in Cambodia. If you want to find a job, a high-paying job in the government in Cambodia under Hun Sen regimes, they will ask you, do you have $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to pay for that position? If not, we have to say sorry to you. We can't hire you because you don't know anybody in the workplace. You don't have connections. I rather hire someone who give me benefit, give me something in return. In this case, who I can trust, or if you are rich, you can pay me in money in return to get this position. So I feel like there's a lot of qualifying Cambodian student, but unfortunately, they're not from a rich family background like the student that got sent to outside country that receive educations. From the officials. Thank you.
Yes, and in order to send their kid outside to study, that's cost a lot of money, and that's money is directly from benefiting from selling our country, the natural resource. You're probably too young to remember this, Samadi. Probably 20 years ago, I remember the news of Hun Manait study at West Point. Do you remember that, Mr. Ricky, about him got accepted to West Point, study at West Point? To me, I was happy because finally we have a son of a dictatorship that's going to be studied outside the country. Maybe he learned what's the democracy, what is the true meaning of democracy. This is 20 years, I believe it's like 20 years ago, but it was such a disappointment that he graduated and he went back to Cambodia and he just followed his father's footsteps. So no matter what education you have from a foreign country, no matter how much they teach you human rights, democracy, the respect for others, he went back to Cambodia and just followed his father's footsteps. I'm not sure, do you remember that, Mr. Ricky? He was here in America, study at West Point.
I have the same feeling as you do too. I not just Hun Sen, but I used to say, okay, wow, now we have a Cambodian man or Cambodian young man or Cambodian boy who got accepted to West Point, even though he was he's the son of the dictator. We still feel proud because we hope that one day when he went back to Cambodia, he is going to practice what he learned in the democratic world in America, real democracy here. But what disappointed us is when he went over there, he just tried to do what his father told him to do. In fact, he did not use any of the skills that he learned in America at all. That's what disappointed us. And I know not just us, but many other Cambodians that live in America as well.
Yes. And he's not the only kid. There's other high-ranking officer that official that actually went to West Point and get all the scholarship, and also, you know, if it no scholarship, then their parent actually pay for it and support for it, and then went back to Cambodia and does the same thing, following their parent footstep. We talk about education. Let's talk about experience. One of the Sok An's son, his name is Sok Sangwa. He's appointed as the Undersecretary of State at the Ministry of Tourism, who is the Deputy Director of Apsara Authority. He gave in an interview, he gave a speech. So it's not surprise. His father, who is Sok An, he was also minister for the Office of Council of Ministry, supervise the Apsara Authority. So basically, he's working, follow his father's footsteps. And here is his statement. He said he feel honored that he was considered for the position and would do his best to promote tourism in the country, which will generate revenue. He will bring over his 7 years of experience, of working experience and knowledge to promote Cambodia tourism sector. He expressed confidence that he can strengthen the resilience of the tourist industry, both domestic and international, with smart tourism initiative, especially with the Cambodia having great tourism product to attract tourists. Okay. He brought over 7 years of experience to his new position. If that position were to give it to someone else, do you think the average Cambodian will able to do the job? Mr. Ricky?
Oh, yes, me, okay.
You start first, and you're a little bit older than somebody.
Yeah, I just want to let everyone know, our audience know, that when Sok An was alive, he had 24 jobs, 24 positions in the government. 24 positions, believe it. And one of them is the tourism, overseeing the tourism in Angkor Wat and the whole country. And now Angkor Wat is ruled by Apsara, who is also under Sok Kwong. And now he said, okay, he will share his 7 years experience. Come on. There are so many Cambodians who can just do the job. And again, you know, it doesn't matter who is ruling the Apsara. The money is never been given to the Cambodian people anyway. 130 million people, dollars, $130 million a year that the government receive from tourism, but only a very small percent that is given to the government. The rest goes to the people who work in the government, bribing or giving to the government official, but not the poor, not the people that we expect to receive, because Angkor Wat seem like belong to either Sok Kwong or Hun Sen now. Actually, our predecessor who built Angkor Wat, Surya Varman number 2, built Angkor Wat is just for everybody. But Hun Sen, Sok An, and now his son, Sok An's son, are robbing. I use the word robbing from our people, because this is Cambodians' money. So it has been going on for so many years since Hun Sen has been in power. And if you put all the money that's collected, $140,000 a year, time 10, that's 1,300. How about time 40? You know, so many millions dollars that have been collected, but it's never been used for the purpose of the Cambodian population or Cambodian public at large. And that's the thing that we feel, again, sad too, that this government not just trying to take the country or the natural resources, but also take Angkor Wat. You know, the flag behind you is Angkor Wat. It's the soul of Cambodia. The flag behind me is Angkor Wat. So this is what Hun Sen and his cronies, think that, oh, okay, now we can use this, we can keep this, we don't need to worry about the people, no matter how much they protest. As long as you are in power, you have the control, and to have the son of the corrupted people who rule one, like a dynasty, from the father to the son and then to the grandson, who knows. And this is very unfair, very undemocratic, and just like, make the rest of the Cambodian people like look so small and useless and powerless. And now, what can we do besides looking at them and just, have our tears fall down, our heart broken, because these elite people are destroying the heritage of Cambodia and also destroy our country. And to us, that's what we need to do. We need to speak up. Everyone, every Cambodian, please talk, try to understand these people who try to destroy Cambodia. We need to change. We need to stop these people, because Cambodia or Angkor Wat do not belong to them. Belong to all of us. It's our property. Thank you.
Somebody, how that experience? How his 7-year experience versus somebody who does not have a name, so at the beginning, or Hun at the beginning, can do the job.
I think it is evident that Sok Soma, is that his name? He went to, yes. He went to outside, study outside the country, probably learn how to negotiate a better contracts. If I remember correctly, around 2014, I think Angkor Wat has been rented to Vietnam, if I remember correctly. Our borders, our neighbors, which can be considered our enemy too. So I think 7 years of experience, probably in the futures, they probably dealing hands under the table on discussing the contracts of renting out Angkor Wat, just so they can have more profit into their pocket. That's what I believe. Because Angkor Wat, when we're talking about Cambodia, the first thing that people know is, oh, that country that has Angkor Wat, so it represents our people. But in facts, it doesn't represent our people. Is belong to a certain individuals. I believe his experience is not going to do anything for Cambodian people as generals, only to benefit his family and his pocket. That's what I believe.
I also believe that they put him there because whatever that's going on, he's able to hide it. Continue hiding it. Whatever it is, brush it under the carpet and let continue on the corruptions. We talk about tourist development already. One of the other son is in construction, so I'm assuming it's going to be construction development. In Cambodia, anytime I heard I think the word is apivot ambori. Every time we apivot something with the development, tourism development, construction development, is like our people would be missing land. Our people would be got kicked out of their land. So every time I heard that word, when he's talking about tourism development, apivot is something that I'm worried about. So that's also something that I also pay attention to. Now my next question is, why promoting family is not democratic?
So you want me to go first, Mom?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Why is
why is it undemocratic when promoting family members? Well, I believe when you promote your family members, the term would be favoritism. Just what it sounds like, it favoring a person not because he or she is doing the best job, but rather because or some kind of personal relationships, either with the person with the higher ups in that position, so you can get employed. So I believe it's undemocratic because when you think of the term democracy, you should think that every human should have some kind of basic right, equal right, because we wasn't born to be superior than other human. Like we was born as human. So when you're talking about undemocratic when hiring favoritism, is because let's say you're in the workplace and that person is the manager daughter or son, and you graduate the top of your class, but you have everything under your resume, but when applying for that job they rejected you because one reason, because I don't know you, I cannot trust you. So that's why they hired their own blood for that job. So so when you're not being treated fairly, it is undemocratic. That's what I think. Look, Purikia.
I just want to add that, in this, I want to compare. In, of course, and we all live in America, and we know the American system very well. We got our education here, and I'm a teacher myself, and I have interviewed so many people, teachers, principal too, because I'm sitting on the interview panel. And when they apply for a certain position, either administrator position or the teaching position, they have to look at the background first. In addition to the college, the degree that they have, the background, the experience, and the job performance, and how you treat your colleagues, how you get along with others. And that's what we are tied into, the democracy. That's to be fair. Democracy means fairness, justice. So there are certain rules, the law, they use the law, the criteria or the requirement as the base to hire a certain person for a certain position, because that's the law that's required by either the government or this district or whoever were in charge, the company. And that's fair because the degree in here is not sold, it's not bought, it's earned. And that's why, and you and I, and had to go to school to get a bachelor degree or master degree or PhD or whatever we were aiming for. And once we graduated, we have built our trust, our background. Then we apply for a job. This all through the fair process, from the early on all the way to the end. And of course, we have to have some good relationship with some people, make a connection. We call it networking, not corrupting, but networking. Get to know, like asking your boss to write a reference letter or a recommendations, for a certain position. That's fine, because the new boss need to know. On the other hand, in Cambodia, and I don't want to say some nasty words in there, but just they're saying that if you do not know anyone, don't even expect. And somebody is correct. Earlier you said that you have to pay this position, for example, just a police position, the policeman, you have to pay them $20,000, or $30,000 just to get to the job. Imagine what that police officer is going to do after he got hired. Of course, the police salary is only about maybe $700, $500 a month. That's probably, even now they cut down 30%. So probably 200, maybe $150 a month. And how can they survive that? How can they have the money to pay for what they already paid to the higher ranking who hired them from the beginning? Because they bribe those people. So what do they have to do? They have to force other people, like charge them, or the innocent who drive the motorcycle or ride a bike motorcycle or cars or some kind of position they can make money out of it. That's why they're corrupted. So in other words, hiring someone within a family that is not part that does not going through the process is very unfair. And when it's something is unfair, it's undemocratic, it's against the law. And that is why we need to be careful. I'm sure a lot of Cambodian people understand that too, but there's nothing they could do. They said there's nothing we could do. We said, oh, okay, it's corrupted at every level. Corruption happens at every level. We could not do anything. And that is why we keep telling people, say, wait a minute, you don't want to live your life like that. You don't want your children to live your life like that, or your grandchildren. You have to do something. Somebody need to do something. It has to start from somewhere. Do not let those officials control you, control your dignity, control your life forever. Okay? So that is why we need to hold hands to be united and start to change. We keep telling them again and again. Of course, nothing about this topic without talking about change. It's not going to happen. We have to mention it again and again. And thank you. I will add more to that. There's a lot more to say.
It start with, we need to teach them to say they are not better than any of the Cambodian youth out there that go to school in Cambodia, that go to university in Cambodia. They have money. It's not because they work hard. They have money because they are corrupted, and they were able to go to outside school in America, in Australia, in Canada, because their parents have corrupted money. And they should say, they are not better than anyone. They just have money from a corruption. And that we need to change the youth to thinking that, they are also better. They are also capable, and more than capable, of holding that position, and to say, wait a minute, that is not fair. That's what we need to do.
And Lynn, I just want to add something. Look at our youth in Korea, in South Korea. They are mostly bachelor degree or graduate with master degree too. But at the end of the day, they had no job. What could they do? Right now, they have to apply for a job to work somewhere else. But those people who had the connection with the government or the relative of the government official will get a higher position, even though they don't have education in foreign country like England or America. They have the opportunity. Because that's what I said from the beginning. They trust, and that's those people will later on will strengthen their power. Will hang on to the power further. And our children who work so hard, the Cambodian innocent children who work so hard, went to school just like them too, but they got nothing except to leave the country and work like slaves, to other people, to other government. That's very sad. See, we're losing our manpower inside the country. We send them out. Cambodian government send them out so they can bring in the immigrant from Hanoi or from China or somewhere else, to take their place. This is sad.
Correct, Mr. Ricky. Okay, my next question will hiring within family. I know when in a small business, it makes sense to hire within family because everything is within family, close business. That's explainable, but this is in a government positions, and it's many positions within the government that is run by the son or the in-law or the wife. Basically, another wife also got promoted as well. So not just son, so wife, family, cousins. So how will this create social injustice in Cambodia? Somebody, would you like to start?
The reason that I believe it will create social injustice is once your family members hold a certain higher position in the Cambodian government, it's really difficult to punish them when something going wrong. For example, if they accidentally killing somebody, there's no punishment go against them. For this example, I would like to talk about Hun Sen. On many occasions, he publicly suggested that his eldest son, Hun Manait, could succeed him as a leader of Cambodia without having to vote or anything. He just appoint him as the next leaders. And Hun Manait himself is currently serving as a commander of Royal Cambodian Army after he was appointed by his father, and without having any experience or contribution to the country. And Hun Sen's second son, Hun Manet, is the Director General of Military of Intelligence, which is a really high rank in the military. And Hun Mani is the youngest son. He is the chairman of National Assembly Commission for Education and Culture, and also the Union of Youth Federation of Cambodia. And it is one of the largest CPP youth organization in Cambodia, and this is huge. So I believe all his son is holding a really important power in Cambodia, and if something happened to Hun Sen, his son can just rise up and take control of everything, like in Cambodia. So this is social injustice in Cambodia. And it promotes corruptions and culture of impunity too. And Cambodia never will receive a true democracy. Thank you.
Mr. Ricky, your turn.
I agree with somebody. I don't want to say much. Somebody said it already, and it is true. You know, in order for our country to be free and democratic, and to become a developed country, you first must educate your people, the youth especially. You know, we need to teach the youth, get the youth involved as much as possible, because youth have a bright brain, fresh ideas, and when they get together, they can create new vision. And when they have the dreams, the new vision, they come together and create the new country, the new system, or the new democratic. Unlike those old people have been ruling Cambodia since 1985, corrupted, the country is getting worse and worse and worse. And now the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And the country were in great debt right now, $16 billion. That's a lot, or even more right now as we speak. And you know, who is going to pay for all of these debts later on? You know, this is led by the older people, older generation. We need youth, but very sad, unfortunately, the youth leader like Hun Manet is also the CPP, who only try to promote their party, the Cambodian People Party, instead of promoting the youth for Cambodia. They promoted just the youth for CPP. And also I heard that they trained those youth to even act violently against those our activists, our activists who got got punished, got struck by the pipe, or hit, or even shot at, and the perpetrator never been found. Those youth were perpetrator. For example, the case of Kong Raya too. There were two incidents at Kong Raya was hit by two strangers who he took the picture and sent to to the authority to find out who that person was. But you know what? Instead of following or trying to find the perpetrator or did the independent investigation, they took Kong Raya and his wife to have quarantine. They accused them, so hey, you came into the country without the proper guideline, and now we put both of you in quarantine. Why do they do that? Why did the government do that? Because they try to suppress our activists to say, you can not do what you do. We will take you to jail. We will take you to quarantine. We will hurt you, do anything that we wanted to. See, that's the kind of society that many Cambodians are living in right now. And they say, oh, thank you, peace. Thank you, peace. Peace for what? Peace in killing people without let them talk, or peace in destroying democracy, and peace in, I don't know, peace in the ghost town. That's what I call it all the time.
Peace in the ghost town, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ricky. Let me, there is a comment. Let me read one of them, or let me think. So what is our solution, Mr. Ricky?
Yeah, our solution is that, right now, I want all youth, it doesn't matter youth, because I love the youth. I have three grown up children, and of course, somebody, and I love, because later on, the youth will take our place when we get older, when we retire. And if we don't prepare our youth well, of course they will do the corruption. Like somebody said, yeah, they will do well, but do it in a bad way. We do not want those kind of youth, because later on they're going to lead the country into the death, which means demise. Bring the country down. We do not want those kind of people. So the solution is to educate, the proper education everywhere, and Cambodians here and there, especially the parents, do not depend on the government to educate. You educate your children yourself. You're the teacher. You're the best teacher, the first teacher. Tell them to say, hey, we need to stand up for our own belief, for our own cause, and we need to, number two, we need to unite, and three, we need to understand that Cambodia doesn't belong to the elite group, to the cronies, belong to all of us. And if we don't do it now, it's going to be too late. So you need to be scared. You need to be worried. You need to get together, and don't be afraid. Just do what the Constitution has given you the privilege, guarantee under the Constitution. You're right. Your right to stand up, your right to speech, your right to actually to educate other people, to tell the truth no matter what. So that's what my solution is. And eventually those people, the last thing, tell them to be brave, tell them to understand that the danger of your future is coming. If you do not do it, nobody else going to do it. You must do it. See, nobody else going to come and do it for you. God will not help you who do not help themselves. Okay, that's my message to all of them. Yeah, we have to understand that very well, very clear.
Samri, what's your solution, Samri, to this chronic issue?
Is to educate youth, let them know the truth that our country is in a desperate need of change. For example, I remember when I was like 16, 17, there's a girls for CNRP from CN, her name is T. Samantha. And at the end, because she failed to see that Cambodia need change, she folded under Hun Sen and pressures and go to their side, and now she's just blaming the CNRP of what they were doing. As Mr. Samransi stated, the best university is Samransi University. Once you graduate out of that university, you will guaranteed a higher position in CPP. That is true, because right now she live in a wealthy lifestyle. She doesn't care about what she was fighting for anymore. She doesn't care about Cambodian people anymore. So that's why I believe we need to educate those youth to see that Cambodian is in a desperate need of change, a true democracy. So one day a poor Cambodian kid without having any connections, but they have all the qualified and educational system to be hired for higher position in the government in Cambodia, can truly show their true potential to bring change to the country. And those kids that currently from a rich family paying their way through, they don't care about Cambodia. All they care is about corruptions and how they bring revenue and profit into their family. And they have to worry about what are they going to buy for then the new year. The car like Rolls Royce right now in Cambodia is very popular among those rich kids. So I believe we need to change the view of youth in Cambodia to truly love their country like youth in the United States, because youth in the United States, they truly care about change. Because right now, for example, President Trump used to be a president for 4 years, but now there's 70% turnout youth from Joe Biden for this new elections. It shows that youth in the United States really care about their country and the political standing. That's why they want change, a new political system that can help America prosperous. That's what Cambodia should look as an example. Thank you.
Thank you, Samadi. The reason I brought up the topics, not because I want to brought up so-and-so doing what, so-and-so doing what. I actually wanted to basically point out to the Cambodian youth, to our youth, that, they are nothing compared. They are absolutely, their education, their experience is nothing. Our youth go to school, they have the same, if giving the opportunity, they have it, basically make it fair. All those positions that those kids got, it's the position never been up. I don't think it's never been advertised. Say, hey, this is an open position, put in your resume. No, those are handed to them. So I want our youth to know that, and I want our youth to understand that, if given a equal opportunity, everybody can perform and can do even a better job than them. That's what that's the reason why I brought over the topic of like to encourage the youth. Don't feel like you don't qualify for those jobs. They are more than, the youth are more than qualified. Senvi, yeah.
I just want to let you know that our audience know too, that the Cambodian children are smart. They are intelligent, just like any Americans here too. Of course, there are some who just doesn't follow the rule. Of course, that's just the nature of human being. Yeah, everywhere. And I'm a teacher myself, and when the youth have a proper education, given equal opportunity, they can become engineer, doctor, lawyer, just like any others. And look at us here who came to the United States. We were the victims of the Khmer Rouge. And I came here, I was 21 years old. I never been attending to high school or elementary, but we worked our way out through college and became teachers. My wife's also working as that too. She received her master's degree. She came here since she was about like 8th grade, But again, I just want to compare. We don't want to talk about ourselves, but just let the people in general know that when we are given opportunity for proper education and time to educate ourselves, we will, we should work to our potential. And it just like any other people, I just feel bad for the people in Cambodia who got the brain, got the mind, but never given an opportunity to shine or to lead, but to always threat and intimidate. And if you're poor, don't even think about holding any position like that at all. This is again, it's just ridiculous. Hun Sen is not just killing democracy, but killing the human mind, the Cambodian mind, that are prosper, that are growing, that are being developed, but he never nurtured them to become at their full potential. In other words, he shrink them down so they can control and only the elite children could control that. They are the boss. Okay, you got to work under my rule. That is the mentality of these dictators who want to prolong his ruling for many, many more years. So people need to understand that. The youth, the Cambodian youth need to understand that. All over the world, we need to stand up for our beliefs, and we cannot let this go on for another year, another 2 years, because the Cambodian children are becoming victims of this cronies, this regime all the time, every day. This
It's
is
been over. It's been
yeah,
40 years.
many, many years, and
Yeah,
people
many
are
years.
dying. It's just very sad. I don't know why it has to be, we have to live in this kind of atrocity, this kind of hardship throughout many, many years. Why can't we have an opportunity to live like in Thailand or even in other country in Southeast Asia? The Cambodian people are suffering so much every day, all the time. Just a sad thing to talk about this before Christmas, but it's just a fact that we got to accept the fact. So we got to do something.
That's what we're doing right now to, promote, so that way people know that it's not fair and it's not democracy. Cambodia is under democracy, and its people not giving the opportunity fairly.
Sure, exactly. Um, any other question? We can have one or two more questions.
We pretty much done. I'm pretty much done. You answer all my questions, and somebody did a really good job. And like we all want change, and that's our topic that we want to get through. Basically, our main point is we point out the obvious, we point out the issue, and we give a solutions. And the solution is educations, and telling our youth that they are worth, to me, more than anything else, that with a proper opportunity, everybody will thrive, will be successful. It needs to be given an opportunity.
Hmm. Yeah, and in addition to educating our youth, we also need to encourage our youth to participate.
Yes.
Yeah, to participate in politics, because politics is their future, and we do not try to get distracted by the incentive that Hun Sen regime has given to them, through alcohol, through something else that may destroy their future, through there's drugs everywhere too right now. So I just, if the children could not see that, the parents could, and the parents need to take control over the kids' future at the moment, because later on, our youth, if we continue that trend, that's what the dictator want our Cambodian children to be, so they could control it. Because when they lose their mind, when they cannot think, they don't have a proper education, they're the one that control them. The regime control them, and once the regime control them, they say, okay, turn to the left, turn to the right, go up, sit down, listen to me, do what I say. That's the style of dictatorship that we do not want to face. And we need to be strong. We need to stand together. We need to be speaking in one voice, to not be afraid, train ourselves to speak up. And it was okay, if we stand up for what we believe in, that's what life is all about. And to please believe that this is under the Constitution. We practice our right. There's nothing wrong with it. Only in the eyes of the regime, because they are afraid that they will lose power one day. But to the eyes of I just want to wrap up what somebody said from the beginning, that Hun Sen see his demise right now. That's the end of his regime is coming, because now youth all over the world, youth and adults too, Cambodian adults too, and the international community too, are seeing that Hun Sen is heading the wrong direction, and they do not want him to be taking the country that way. So
Thank you, Mr. Ricky.
Yeah.
Yes, somebody. I'm gonna have you have the last word now.
Last word. I hope that Cambodia will see change. Hopefully, in the futures, 5 to 10 years from now, Hun Sen's son will not inherit his position, and Cambodia will have a free and fair election. So youth in Cambodia, doesn't matter their background, where they're coming from, they have an opportunity to show their talent, to bring Cambodia into the right directions. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Samadi. You know what? Christmas is on Friday, so I'm not gonna talk to you until probably next Tuesday. I wish you, Mr. Ricky, and Mrs. Pauline Sam and your family a Merry Christmas. Um, some of us, like I don't technically celebrate Christmas as religious, but I am celebrate them with the spirit of giving, the spirit of hope, the spirit of peace. So as that, so Merry Christmas, Mr. Ricky, and Merry Christmas, Samadi.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you, to both of you and our audience that always follow our shows all the time. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for joining us, and thank you for being here today, Samadi and Mr. Ricky. Always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, our show is concluded right now. Thank you for our audience, and also I would like to wish our audience a Merry Christmas. As I said, my family does not religiously celebrate Christmas, but we do celebrate the spirit of Christmas. We do have hope. We do want peace, and that's mostly the spirit of Christmas. And also, please celebrate safely, because now it's COVID-19. If possible, celebrate via Zoom. So until next week,